Hey there guys, Lord Frigid here with the 11th episode of Aether Raid's Offense. I've got a couple, well, actually one map is not so bad, but my approach is a little unorthodox. And the other map is very, very difficult to approach, and I maybe go a little too in-depth with trying to explain it. So I would like to let you know ahead of time that if you are kind of confused by how I'm describing it and want some clarification, then please do feel free to ask me in the comments, and I will do my best to clarify what I mean. So yeah, that's about it. I'll leave this screen up for another 15 or so seconds so you can get the timestamps recorded however you wish, and then I'll get right into the battles. Alright, so this first map features a double Yoon setup with two Yoons, a Lian, Dark Blessed, a legendary Alm, legendary Tiki, and Fjorm. And the tricky thing about this map, or rather the annoying thing about this map, is that the two Yoons boost all the enemy's speed up to absolutely incredible levels. Okay, well, maybe not Fjorm, but even in her case, 43 is a respectable number to hit unbuffed. And it's not like there's any speed boosting light or Astra heroes, so not a whole lot you can do about it without incredible debuffing or buffing power of your own. So as far as the weaknesses for this map, I see three of them. The first is right in between Alm and Tiki, and that might not strike you as much of a weakness to begin with, but if you take a look a little closer, you'll see that it accomplishes a few things. You can snipe Lian from that spot with a ranged unit. You're trapping Alm between your unit and the three buildings. And Tiki does not have 2 move, and even if she did, she would not move to attack. So when she attacks, Fjorm is not going to be able to hit that unit. So only the 2 Yoons and Tiki are going to be able to hit whoever you put there. So as long as you've got a decent mixed bulk tank that can survive 2 shots of Dark Breath from Tiki, that's actually a pretty safe place to put a unit. It's a little weird. Of course, the trick is finding a unit with enough bulk to survive 2 hits from Tiki. But she has noontime, so it's not like she's dealing extra damage with her special. And then, of course, there's always a guard effect. Guard effects will help you survive in that case. And that's what I end up doing for my personal approach to this map. Another weakness I see is that spot just below the flyer school. If you have somebody capable of sniping Alm, that is the spot you would put him. Yoon would attack. The left-hand Yoon would attack you on the enemy phase, so do be mindful of that. However, just because only Alm and Lian have assists, Tiki is going to move. It's going to be Tiki or Fjorm, but regardless of which one it is, neither is going to actually be able to reach that spot even after a refresh from Lian, who does not transform, by the way, just by virtue of being next to 2 Yoons. So that's actually also a pretty safe spot to place a unit. Of course, it has to be a unit that can actually survive Alm, but it's... As far as if you have that, and they'd also have to be able to tank out Yoon. Those are the only 2 enemies that they're going to have to deal with on that particular turn. The third weakness that I see is that breakable block, just about 3 spaces below Fjorm. Exactly 3 spaces below Fjorm. Not sure what I was thinking there. That is in a similar spot. So Fjorm will attack that spot. The right-hand Yoon will attack that spot, and then Tiki will move forward and get refreshed by Lian. And then Alm and Yoon... So basically, only those 2 units will be able to attack that spot if you put a unit there. None of the others will have the reach to get there. So that's it for the weaknesses for this map. So let's go ahead and just get right into the battle where I showcase how exactly I chose to deal with it. Alright, I think Faye is probably the right pick for this map. And what I'm going to do is start by testing these traps. Or actually, I think just this one. Just that one should be fine. Actually, let me do this, I think. So, okay, I'll test this one as well. But basically what I'm going to do... Actually, no, I can't have Faye here. Basically what I'm going to do is have Elise march right up there. Fake. Let in Micaiah. Refresh Elise. Have her walk down. Tiki doesn't have armored boots or anything, and so Leanne doesn't transform because she's next to 2 Yuns. So go ahead and break that. And then this and that in preparation to smite Faye up here on the next turn. So 1. That's fake as well. Okay. So that's interesting. Let's go ahead and position Elise here, I think. Put Micaiah there and Faye here. So this is real, and this is real. That's interesting. I can use that next. When I finally start the map. But for now, what I need to do is this, I think. Well, let me double check something here. 11. There's 2 drive res stacks here. Okay. That's actually quite annoying. It means that my initial strategy probably isn't going to cut it. I thought I'd be able to have Elise take out Fjorm in 2 rounds of combat with a Micaiah refresh. And then from there, I just pin Olm in here with Faye. And have Faye snipe Leanne, because Faye can actually take a round with Tiki. I don't know about 2, though. That seems like it'd be pushing it. You don't one-shot Elise. Would Yoon one-shot Elise after Fjorm hits her? Because if not, then she gets Miracle up. I doubt it. I don't think she even deals damage. Nope. And there's no Panic Manner. Okay. Wait, does she deal damage? Hold on. No drive attack or anything. There's the attack res bond, but that puts you at 50, and Elise's res is 56, so no worries there. And the amount of damage Elise dishes out to you is 11 plus whatever this is here. 11 plus 36. Really that little. Okay. 47. It's not bad, and it's not like Leanne's going to be alive. So let's just do this. I think move you there. And that ought to get me into position. Turn 3. Should be okay. So now I bump you up here. And again. And even if I can't KO Fjorm, Fjorm's not going to actually be able to reach Faye, because Tiki does not move to make her attack, and nobody else can damage Faye. So I guess I don't even really need to attack. It'd just be nice if I could. I might even consider attacking Tiki once, just to get some chip damage off, and yeah, I think I might do that since Elise isn't going to be able to take out Fjorm here. Bump. And then reset everyone's special cooldowns, and then I'll have her break that. And that will give me an opening to attack Alm when the time arises. Oh! That's even less damage than I thought she was going to deal. Okay, we take those. Well, she's going to start hurting now, though, because she doesn't have buffs. So I need to... First, I need to get rid of this Fjorm. Okay, can I do that? Yes, we'll do this here. Attack Smoke, alright.
Got it.
Now what I want to make sure of is that I can actually KO this Fjorm. And I will be able to do it if I bump... I should be able to do it if I do this. It's a little risky, because I don't know how much damage that Bull Trap's going to deal.
Okay. Alright.
So, let me just double check here. Tiki is now going to deal 48 minus 46. Oh.
Okay.
A massive 2 damage to Faye, so I guess it's not too bad. 10? Really? Alright. Okay, we take those. That's free. And then I can do this. How much damage do you deal? Oh, don't want to do that then. And then I'll have Faye break the healing tower. Oh wait, no, don't do that. Don't break anything. Keep them trapped. It's okay if they get the heal. Ah, 2s. Devastating. Turn 6, I need to step up my pace here.
Yes.
Okay, interesting. If I reset your special charge, that should... Oh wait, actually no, she's still gonna get her noontime. Oh wait. Oh, the guard effect. It applies a guard effect. I totally forgot about that. That should be fine, actually, because her defenses were reduced by the same amount as she gained, as she debuffed with Dark Breath. So I'll do this. Can Alm actually KO Faye? I don't think he can. So I should be good to break this. Well, let me double check. So he has 54 attack. Okay. And Faye will have 38 plus 8 plus 10 defense, 56. So he will deal 0 damage from regular attacking. So all he'll deal is 50% of her defense, which is 28. And she'll live. It'll kind of suck, but she'll live.
The glimmer of life.
28 damage, exactly as expected. And then I should be able to do this. And then, yep. So break that. And then poor Alm taken out by Faye. Alright, so this is the second map, and it is a doozy. As you can probably tell, the idea is that Lynn's range is absolutely massive, and it restricts your positioning options. And when you do finally aggro the AI, after Lynn gets her round of attacks in, or 2 rounds of attacks in, then the Gale Force Cavalry up at the top are going to stream down at you and quite possibly take out 1 or more of your units. So now that I've discussed how the map works, let's get into what I see as far as weaknesses. And here are the quote-unquote weaknesses of this map. I have 2 marked with question marks because they're really only weaknesses if you have some very specific unit types. And then there are 2 other slightly more solid options. I'll go ahead and discuss the conditional weaknesses first. The first is the one in the upper left corner to the left of the Dark Shrine. If you have a Smite Bot, a Refresher, and a ranged cavalry, you can get that ranged cavalry up to that spot and have them snipe Azura. I think you would probably need to have this be a Raven Adept Green Tome Cav. Cecilia would probably be better for this role because after that operation, that Green Tome Cav that ranged cavalry is going to have to deal with, at most, 1 round of combat with Gunthra and 2 rounds of combat with Lynn. That's no mean feat. So, yeah, it'd probably have to be Green Tome Raven Adept, probably Cecilia, because I don't think Olwen has the bulk to deal with that. No other Green Tome Cavs are springing to my mind immediately. Apologies if I missed your favorite Green Tome Cavalry unit. The other spot, or, well, I guess that's not wholly accurate. That's not really the only spot you can use. The other spot I've marked with a question mark, 2 spaces below Lynn, is a spot where you could put a Vantage tank you'll notice that none of the units have hardy bearing on either their weapons or their seal slots. So as long as you can take out Firesweep Lyn, then your Vantage Tank will be able to sweep the rest of the enemy team on the enemy phase. I would note that it can't be a blue Vantage Tank, probably, because I'm pretty sure Triangle Adept Gunther would destroy that. But if you have a red or green Vantage Tank, probably green just by virtue of Roy's kind of meh defenses with life and death and low HP, then they should be able to deal with the rest of the enemy team. If you don't have a powerful Vantage Tank or a green Raven Adept Cav, then you can try and take advantage of one of these other two spaces. And this is where it gets a little interesting. I'm just going to go ahead and assume you don't really have Null Sea Disrupt available. So regardless of which of these two spaces you choose, Lyn is going to attack from one of these red dot marked spaces. If you choose space 1, then she's going to attack from the right red dot. If you choose space 2, then she's going to attack from the left red dot. There is no way she's going to attack from in between the two breakable walls, because that's just not how the AI works. After that, she is going to be immediately refreshed by one of the Azuras, and her threat range will be increased at that point to the kind of lilac shaded area that I've marked here. Now, that's phase 1. It's what happens after that with the melee calves where it gets a little complicated. And the worst case scenario in terms of threat range is that if you choose space 1, then the worst case scenario is that Roy moves down 3 spaces and breaks the block above space 2. Now, if he does that, then his threat range will be as shown. And if you can see that there are 5 spaces, or at least on my particular map, there are 5 spaces that are safe from Roy, including the space number 1, which is kind of where you have your bait unit. So I'm not sure if that really even counts, but you have four other spaces that are safe from Roy. And if I overlay that with Lyn's new range, you'll see that there are 2 spaces that are safe from the both of them. 3 spaces that are safe, 4 spaces that are safe from Roy, including my Panic Manor, I guess, which I maybe shouldn't be counting. And then there are 2 spaces that are safe from Lyn, but targetable at Roy. So that's kind of what I see there. You'll notice that if Roy or Oscar move first and they go to the heavy trap space that's just below Lyn's initial position, then that doesn't actually increase their threat range at all, so I discounted that entirely. And Oscar cannot move straight down 3 spaces and break the block and then get refreshed, because either Lyn is blocking him from reaching the breakable block, or Oscar has now moved out of the range of all refreshers, or rather of all refreshers that still have their actions. Now, if you choose spot 2, then it gets a little trickier. In terms of threat range, let's just say Oscar moves straight down 3 spaces and breaks the block, then his range increases to the kind of lilac highlighted area shown. But you'll note that he can target the bait unit that you've placed in spot 2. So now your bait unit will have to deal with not only up to 2 rounds of combat with Lyn, but also 1 round of combat with Oscar. And here's where it gets especially annoying, because maybe Roy moves first. Let's just say he moves to the spot with the just below Lyn. Then he will get refreshed by Azura, and he will also be able to target your bait unit. And really, you can't really tell. There's no real way to know, unless you have inside information on how the opponent set up their slot order, which of those 2 melee calves is going to move first. So your worst case scenario is 2 rounds of combat with Lyn and 1 round of combat with either one of those melee calves, and your bait unit will have to be able to deal with that. So just kind of be mindful of that. I would note that your safe range, that range that is targetable by both Lyn and whichever melee cav moves first is a little bit it's more clustered together in that kind of lower left area, as you can see here. So I don't know, just be mindful of how the AI is going to just react to your unit placement, because this is a very tricky map to deal with. With that, I'm going to go ahead and discuss how I personally dealt with this map. This is one of the maps where I really wished that I had I'd kept Null Sea Disrupt on Fae instead of changing over to Dull Ranged. And in fact, I will be using Null Sea Disrupt on her going forward, specifically to deal with annoying Firesweep, Bow, Lyn maps like this. So yeah, here's the footage from my personal experience with this battle. So surprisingly enough, this one's actually a Nyla map. So I'm going to go ahead and wander in here. I need to have a setup like that, I think. That ought to do it. Well, yeah, that's fine, actually, because Gunthra is the only magical and she's not going to be attacking, so I don't really need to have the res buff on Nyla or Kaden, although I think I will actually end up getting it because I do want the speed buff on her. So, how am I going to do this? I need to, I think, let's see here, if I have, well, let me take a look here. Yeah, so I'm thinking if Air can survive a shot from Oscar, I should have her do that. Can she? 63 minus 21 is 42, so she has enough she has enough bulk for that. Now, does she have enough speed to avoid being doubled? 48 versus Oscar will have 50. Yes, she will. So, I think I need to do that. Okay. Unless I want to try something like this. And I basically just would not be able to engage on turn 1. I do want the speed buff on Nyla, though. Well... Yeesh. This is actually kind of tricky. You know what? Let's just do this. Okay. So
I'm more than ready.
I can do that. Then flip Nyla up there. Oh, never mind. That's a bad idea. She's gonna get hit by the panic banner. Okay, abort. Abort mission. Bad idea. The plan was bad. So let's see. How can I do this here then? I think... Wow, this is actually kind of tricky. Do I need to sacrifice someone? Maybe if I just do this. Oh. I think I'll put you over here.
Death's
And get
caress.
Kaden over there. And then what I'm going to look to do is break this thing and put Nyla here. And then have Kaden nearby. And it's a sticky situation as far as what Roy ends up doing. but I should be okay here. Let's see.
The glimmer of life.
Together.
Yes.
I'll dance.
Death's curse. The glimmer of light.
Right. Lovely.
Okay. Let's see. I need to...
I'm more than ready.
Okay. Need to do this. I think. Do I need to do that?
Sure thing.
Let's see. 47
Yes.
speed. Should
The
be fine for
glimmer
the
of
Fury
death's
Air.
caress. The glimmer
Fire
of
Scroll is
life.
annoying, but I should be able to deal with it.
Got it. Summer's here.
Okay.
I can help.
Take that.
Right.
Yes. The glimmer of life.
Okay. So this ought to do the trick. Let me flip them
Lovely.
up there.
Death's
Put
caress.
Fury Air in front of this, so Micaiah doesn't have to take the hit. All right, as expected, the limb goes down. Oof, that hurt. There's no Wings of Mercy, so it's not really a big deal. And then he should attack air. That was close. Okay, let's take a look at what I can do. I think
Yes.
air can take out Roy. And then,
glimmer
can
of
this air
life.
take out Gunthren? No, she can not. Can I have you do that? No. Well, that sucks. Okay, This air can probably do it, though. So
Yes.
I will bump her over here.
Got it.
Refresh with Micaiah.
Death's caress.
Yep, take her out as expected. And then, what turn is it? It's only 4? No, it's 5. Okay, that's fine. Let's
Sure thing.
see.
Together.
I think if I do that, and then I can put
Lovely.
Kaden in front of Nyla. Azura should hit Kaden, probably deal some damage, but nothing serious. And at this stage, actually, you know, I'm at the point where I don't even need to take Aether structures,
The
so
glimmer
I'm just
of life.
gonna win the map here.
I'll dance.
Better to go
Yes.
no death than risk going for a play like that. All right, so that was actually a pretty tricky map. Props to this guy.